Hey guys, Jurassic Man here, and today I'm finally going to do a review of the beast of the Mesozoic Dromeosaur. Or Dromeosaurus, but it's a Dromeosaur anyways, because all raptors are classified as Dromeosaurs. So, without further ado, let's introduce the first discovered dinosaur of the Dromeosaur family. Now, if many of you have known or seen my Instagram page, you would know that I have been waiting for so long to get this guy. I actually pre-ordered this back in January of last year, and it took a really long time to get here, all the way up to March, which I'm very excited I finally got it now. And furthermore, I really love how the amount of detail was put into these guys, and especially around with all the colorations, the design. I mean, I've seen the design process back in mid 2015, and seeing all that, all these designs, all these colorations, all these sculpts this guy put into work, David Silva really did a fantastic job with these sculpts. But before we get started with the figure, I want to get started with the box. So let's move this out of the way. Now the box itself is in this clear packaging box style. It has an open window on the side right here, and a cool small rendition of the Dromeosaur. It's a 1/6 scale dinosaur action figure. Dromeosaurus was not a very big dinosaur in the first place, but it was something terrifying for predators or for prey around smaller than it and possibly even bigger. You can see on the packaging it has this nice coloration of the Dromeosaur. It's nice forested background. There's a clear coated side. And in the back of the packaging, we get a nice, better rendition. This is the actual painting that was made of the Dromeosaur. If you can read that, I'd pause it and read it, and you can see all of the different Dromeosaur you could get in this collection, including Velociraptor, here's the Dromeosaur, and many other in this line. Now, I don't know, I'm not the type of person that's still like, oh, I know Velociraptor and that's it. No, I know a few more Velociraptors, or Raptors. Yeah, but yeah, there's plenty of them out there. You see the top of the box has Beast of the Mesozoic, Dromeosaurus number 7. This is the 7th. Age adults, collectors of 15. It's pretty nice. And what you can actually do is you can slide this pink ribbon on the side here, and it shows you how to assemble your dinosaur when it comes to stands, taking away, so like putting stuff away underneath the board, how to put the tail in, and that tail is on the bendy wire. See there? Okay. Now with the box out of the way, let's get right to the figure. Now the figure itself comes with some accessories. One of the accessories is of course the hold on. And the accessory, of course, is the stand. It is this nice, weathered looking floor. It's clearly snow with lots of rocky mountain. And it comes with this clear stand. There is another one that you can use for dynamic poses, but it doesn't really work so well with my Dromeosaur. And underneath it has this nice color base to it. And you can see that there's a small cavity right here where this rock would be. And you would store your stuff here. You see there's little pegs right here, and what you do is you put the little foot pegs down there, and it'll give it a dynamic pose. Now, the foot or the end of the toes do come off on this guy, and they come off pretty easily, which I'm not really happy. I kind of wish they were tight, but overall it's a really good sculpt and design of these toes. And it gives the Dromeosaur something to balance on, because in reality this figure, it's really hard to stand on its own, unless without some support. And he can't support it with his wings, but you don't want to bend those, so there's that. Now the sculpt of the Dromeosaur is fantastic. It has this nice feather details all the way throughout his body. The only parts without feathers are, I think, the toes, and of course the mouth and face itself. Get this out of the way. And the face itself is this nice coloration. this dark brown with this hazel, and then underneath with a stripe. I think this is based on the peregrine falcon. If I'm not right, then I would put a text right here in the bottom. And so, yeah. Now the articulations are incredible. There are a hint of 26 points of articulation on this guy. He has some on the legs, on the tip of the toes. They are in a swivel, so you could position them in any way. On the wings, you can extend the wings out this far, so you could give this guy a nice pouncing stand. You can arch the neck down as this much. You can open the jaw, and the jaw itself has this nice coloration, nice detail. Its tongue is possibly separated, but yeah, there's that. That looks pretty cool. And you can close it pretty well. It has this nice, tough articulation to it, so that's pretty cool. And you can give this dromaeosaur a nice pouncing attack. Okay. Now the legs, I wouldn't want to move them too much since there's hardly any movement to them. But you could pose them pretty far back in the body. The ankles can bend this far back and this far forward. So there are some posabilities with this guy, and yes, I keep saying that, but you could really pose this guy in any way you want. Dynamic or just running or standing. Any sort of way you can. And the tail itself is on a bendy wire, and I really love this fan out design of it. And what you could do with this bendy wire tail is that you could pretty much bend it any way. Now the whole tail is bendable, but in reality dromaeosaurs don't really have much of a bend in the end of the tail. It's very stiff, and that helps them locate or locomotives of how to run. But there is a hinge right here, and this hinge can go up and down. It's basically in a ball joint. But these two right here on the base of the tail is a hinge right here, and you can move that around, and so you can give your dromaeosaur some motion. Now it does come with little accessory claws. Like I said, these can be taken out with some flat claws. I could send a picture right here. Some flat-toed claws, which are used for jumping or pouncing animations or dynamics, and you can use those for gripping his prey down and all those such. So it doesn't really have much of a prey until the Septopsians come out, but we have to wait at least 2 to 1 year from that. So yeah, what do I give this coloration of the score of the figure? It's really nice. It's really great. I love the colorations. I love the feathers. I'm a big fan of super articulated figures and, of course, scientifically accurate ones. Of course, these raptors are a bit slim. I could say that. But I could give credit because at the time, you know, he made them a bit slimmer. And raptors are a bit more heavily built on the body. They're not too skinny, but they're also not too big. So, this raptor has nice articulations, has nice details, and a very nice looking dromaeosaur. So, let's get right into comparisons. Here is comparison with the Kenner Velociraptor. And of course, if I had to choose which I like the most, it'd be this guy. I never really, after learning that these guys are not this big or have their arms pronated, I never started liking them. I don't know. Raptors were never really my favorite thing in the franchise. They were always overkill, overused, too powerful, too smart. But you know what? I think the smartest raptors now are, you know, they're not as smart as a bird, like an average bird. Not even smarter than a pigeon, I think. So, let's get to right comparison. Or, let's get to the next comparison. We have the 4-inch scale Alan Grant of the original Jurassic Park line. And this scales up not very well. I think the Dromeosaurus is a bit smaller. I think it's up to hip height. But I'm not sure. I'll send a picture of that, how it looks. And yeah. And of course, this can't be a Jurassic Man video without comparing it with the young T-Rex. The young T-Rex itself is very inaccurate. If anything, a young Tyrannosaurus would have more feathers and clapping hands instead of tappers. That's one thing I saw a picture of. Let me see if I can find that picture and just post it here for a little while. You know, dinosaurs are clappers, not tappers. And I love that one. So what score would I give this? I'd give it a 5 out of 5. Personally, this is probably the only beast of the Mesozoic dinosaurs I would get at the moment. Until I get a job and more money, I would get this, but currently right now I'm focused on the Fallen Kingdom toys. But at the moment, this is my favorite one of the design. It has this natural colorations, natural design, natural look to it. And I would give it a 5 out of 5. My only problem is that the toes are a little loose to that. And a big problem is the packaging. The box itself didn't come with like a box in it. It came like in one of these standard packages, you know, the ones you would use for like shipping envelope. It came in that, and I did not like that. Because of that, it bent the box itself. I saw pictures for the accessory wave or those stuff, and they came in boxes as well. I don't know why these didn't come in boxes, but that's my only complaint. David, so if you're watching this, I would recommend shipping them in boxes instead of packaging. I know you're saving money or you're shipping these out, and these are the first wave you're shipping, but you should really ship them in boxes. But those that got like bundles, yeah, they got boxes. Just separate shippings, I guess, boxes. But that's my only complaint. So I give it a 5 out of 5. The pricing itself is pretty extreme, but what do you expect? These are super articulated, highly detailed dinosaur figures, and we will be getting more in the future. If his figures become very successful, maybe other companies, bigger companies like NECA, will probably step in. But until then, this is my review of the Beast of the Mesozoic Dromeosaurus. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.